So, as I told already that my talk today is about the design in Buddhism, about the website Study Buddhism, and of course about love. And love is a very important topic for all of us. But before I'm speaking about web design or Buddhism, I would like to let my typefaces to speak about this topic. They do that much better than I, anyway. So, and this is the first quote I have with me. So this quote is by Laura Ingalls-Wilder. She is a famous American author. She's an author of classics, A Little House in the Woods and A Little House on the Prairie. And the typeface used here is Little House script, which is based on her handwriting, and it's my custom font, like the custom font I made. And actually, Laura married a farmer, and her life was very hard, probably even harder than she thought. She had to take care of her blind daughter, and later on also of her husband. Yeah, and she learned that love means also responsibility. Another quote, a bit more romantic one. It's also an American author, Emily Dickinson. And the typeface is in Emily in white. And in contrast to Laura, Emily didn't have a hard life in terms of like material sense, but yeah, her biggest love and also struggle was poetry. And she was a very seclusive person. She wrote in her lifetime only for herself and very closest relatives. And her last wish was the same as Franz Kafka's wish. All manuscripts should be just burned. But that didn't happen, and now she's considered as one of the greatest poets in North America. Another language. This is Finnish by Finnish composer Jan Sibelius, and in Finlandia script, which is inspired by his drafts in letters. The quote is from the letter to his girlfriend Aino, and he is showing his typical Finnish impulsiveness and maybe boundness. Someone can call that openness. But yeah, he was complaining about being not able to marry her because he doesn't have enough money. But anyway, he did that at the end. I think from the Buddhist point of view, this is not love, but more something like attachment. So, the favorite one, my favorite author, of course. So this is Franz Kafka and my font FF Mr. K, and it's from the Kafka's diaries, and I think it's quite Buddhistic, but also very Kafka-like. He tries to understand and support both friends, but at the same time he's very unsure and he is not sure that he is able to do that. Yeah? She's never satisfied with himself. The last quote, almost 2,500 years old, by Buddha. And yeah, the typeface used here is called mir, and it means in Russian both peace and the world. So, but actually, what can Buddhists offer us today? And in very simple way, maybe, the Buddhism is, I think it's the main thing. It gives us a deeper understanding of the reality and also provides on the methods to work on ourselves, to develop our mind and our emotion. And one of these methods is, of course, meditation. Concentration, empathy, analytical skills, or even happiness, they don't appear just like this, without any effort. So we need to work on ourselves. If we want to be happy, we need to work on ourselves. So that, I think, the basic idea. Of course, I'm oversimplifying probably the whole topic, and the Dr. Berzin and Yura Milutin, who both are founders of the studybuddhism.com, they're here and they can speak for hours about that. So if you have any questions, please welcome afterwards, you can ask them. So, but I think nobody will deny this. We all need love, and from the Buddhist point of view is a wish for others to be happy, and that means that we don't await anything in return for ourselves. And we probably know something about that from our everyday situations, from everyday life. If we are a bit open to others, if we are more attentive to others, then and if we don't think just about ourselves and not so close, then our life becomes also a bit more easier. And it's actually what is the study Buddhism about. And this beautiful illustration is made by Berlin illustrator Lukas Hasermann. He is working for the website. I don't want to go much deeper into the visual design of the website. I think you can, if you're interested, you can later check it. Just scroll through the website, studybuddhism.com. What I would talk about is about the process and challenges we had. So this project started about 1.5 years ago, and the first phase was carried out by Eden Spiekermann. And the previous version of the website was known as berzinarchives.com, and it was existing already for 12 years and needed a redesign. So here you see the team at Eden Spiekermann, which is doing a pioneer work on this project. And this is a Dr. Alexander Berzin, who is the founder of Berzin Archives e.V. It's a non-profit organization, and also the spiritual head of the project. So he's marked here with a not so spiritual red mark. And he is also here. He lives in Berlin, and he is a very influential Buddhist teacher and translator. So the website had an immense amount of material, different articles, lectures, research papers, original text translated in the different languages. And the main challenge for us, for designers, it was to structure and organize this material, to find out the architecture, to develop the information architecture, which would work for different users with different level of involvement. It was not so easy, and but at the end of it, I'm actually very happy with the result, and we got a very good feedback from different people. And this one is from our Russian-speaking user, where he praise for the website more than I would dare to do that, but it's very nice. He is saying that its interface is very clear, it's easy to understand, and the hashtag there is absolutely recommendable. So it's nice it's nice that somebody writes something like this. Another challenge was the accessibility and performance of the website. For us, it was very important that all parts of the website are available not only on the high-speed internet connection or on iPhones, but also people living in rural areas and with poor internet, with old phones, old computers, that they also have a good reading experience. And Liv Madsen in this picture, she did a magic, and she developed the front end completely without JavaScript. So the website performs very well in all possible devices, all kind of devices, and its mobile ranking on Google is a 99 of 100, which is amazing. And we know that, for example, people in Indonesia, because Indonesian is one of the main languages of the website, they really read this website in the feature phones. That means these old phones without this, the old phones before a smartphone. Like these people using the old Nokia, which I also love. So, yeah. Next big change was the naming. The website is a great source of material, but the naming, it was called berzenarchives.com. It's not connected well enough to the topic, and for the many people, especially for people who like newcomers, they couldn't connect it to Buddhism. So we decided to change the name, and now it's called Study Buddhism. It's not trivial change, it's very big, also emotionally and also technically. But in long term, I think it's quite good, and really people find easily, they understand what is this website about quite quickly. And but the migration process, redirect process, all these technical things which we like normal users don't see was very complicated. And just to show the scale of the work, I have only one number: 800,000 URLs. They needed to change their own place somewhere in the new structure. So this was a very big thing, and we worked with the external, with the SEO specialist from Spain, Aleda Solis. She's very good, very experienced, and she helped us to solve the problem. And actually, we managed to do the migration process without very big traffic drop, which is also quite good. So, and now, the studybuddhism.com is live, it's doing its work, but of course there's many things to do, also in technical point and the development point of view, and also working on the content strategy, content itself and translations continues. We have a lot of intermediate and advanced materials on the website, but the newcomers could be treated a bit better. We made a lot of interviews, and we know that these people need another art of presentation. They have different reading habits. They appreciate more images, videos, audios, and these are things that continues. So we are working in that direction further. And another also very important direction for the further development is to bring in other Buddhist teachings and other Buddhist views to the website. That's mean interviewing teachers, preparing material, making videos, and this is a ongoing process. This is one of our latest interviews with Tenzin Palmo. And I like this quote very well, like very much, because it brings like Buddhist, it puts Buddhist thinking in a nutshell. It's by the way, this woman spent 12 years in a remote cave in the Himalayas, so she knows what she's speaking about. What happens here? Ow. Basically, it was the last slide before I wanted to show the very last of our piece of our work. And I hope we can do that, because it will be very pity if we cannot see that.
It's interesting that it's like you explain it now. It seems to cope quite well with the wish for individualism also, which is probably predominant in the West and not in the Buddhist tradition. But it seems to meet individualistic needs for using methods or techniques or new thoughts, basically, to reflect and to deal with one's own life.
I think, yeah.
Maybe it's too simple, like I said. But
no, I think it's the right direction. I think it's the right direction. I think there is like a big transition phase right now for last few years, when people start slowly to realize that, well, we need to work. We need to do. If you want to achieve some kind of result, you want to have certain state of mind, you need to work on it. So, for example, if you want a certain state of body, you have to train. You won't just sit and thinking about it and it will just happen. You have to go and work out. So if you want a certain state of mind or you want some emotion dominate your life, for example love, well, you have to work on it, right? It won't appear by itself. It's not magic. It's just there is certain sets of methods, and this is what we try to show. And I think it's a very new thing. It's a very new thing for the West. So as, for example, brushing your teeth was a very new thing for the West. So the guy who invented it actually was put in psychiatric institution. Because this idea was so crazy that for 5 minutes you have to put something in your mouth. And it was like, it was unthinkable 150 years ago. But right now it's a normal thing, right? And jogging in the morning, it was a complete crazy idea. Like in 40s, if you would ask someone, somebody tells you, I'm jogging in the morning, I'm running in the morning. Well, person probably would ask from whom? Because it didn't make any sense. And slowly we get to the idea of hygiene of the body, training your body, and now we're slowly getting to the idea of training our minds. Because if we take a look overall, like in Europe and US, well, for the last 40 years, our level of depression increased 10 times. And we don't have a good solution for that in our culture. We have some medications, but actually there is no real proof that they work in the long term. And we believe that some Buddhist methods and many neuroscientists prove that they can dramatically change our overall emotional state, the state of our minds.
I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions here, so take the chance, please.
I have a question.
The lady next to you was first. Sorry, Götz.
I would like to ask, what do you think are the biggest misconceptions that people have when they first approach Buddhism?
Did you get it?
There are so many. I never thought about like top 3.
No.
Well, from my personal point of view, I think couple that can come to mind. First of all is that people very certain that Buddhism is a religion. We have to be very careful with that notion, because first of all we have to define what is religion, and second of all we have to be very careful by throwing this label everywhere just because it sounds similar, the name, to something else. So I think it's much more complicated with Buddhism. It has a lot of scientific approach to your own experience, so it just proposes you to use method and check by yourself if it works or not. And if it doesn't work, you can throw it away, and this was the Buddha's teaching. So it's a very scientific approach to your own inner life. And I think it's often overlooked because we're surrounded by many images of Buddha, in pharmacy, for example, near our office there is Buddha for some reason. And we go to yoga club and there is a Buddha, and you go to the toilet and there is a Buddha, and it all feels so spiritual. It feels like it's like an idol. And second thing is, I think for many people Buddhism associated with meditation, they think that it's like equal thing, and it is not. Meditation is just one of the methods that is probably quite useless if you never study what actually doing there, and also meditation is not defined in our culture, so some people say, sitting in bath is my meditation, or drinking my coffee is meditation. Well, it's a little bit vague, and in Buddhism there is a lot of analytical study, where you try to probe your conceptions about the world with logic. And it's a very important part that Western people don't really introduce to. Well, it's never been introduced actually.
So these were the two first
things that come.
Things.
Yes.
No religion and meditation is something else. So is there a text about meditation already to be found on your website?
Yes, there is very basic what is meditation, how to meditate in our Buddhism and daily life section.
And also some guided meditation.
Some guided meditations
as
that
audios.
anyone can try.
So if there's no third one at the moment, I would like to not forget Gert's questions, please.
Okay, I have a question to the designer, because when I see I have not visited the website, I don't know anything about Buddhism, but I hear there is a lot of text and archive material. How do you introduce, because you say you want more people to be introduced. Did you ever think about illustration, about, let's say, graphics, not picture, but...
Yeah, of course. We have some illustration. There's at the moment not so many, but we have ones. And the one that I showed there was from the website. But of course we want to have more visual material. Not just to have the visual material, but there's in these places where it makes sense. And as I was saying, also we are doing interviews and making videos, which also quite a big topic and takes a lot of work right now. And and actually it's a very good question, because I have an animation which got ready, and I can show that right now. And so this is the direction from the visual stuff what we want to have on our website. So this is an animation made by Kurz Gesagt Studio in Munich. They are specializing in the such explanatory animations, and I think this summarizes the content, the ideas of the website quite good. And the script was done by Jura Milutin and Matt Linden.
We all want peace of mind, but often fail to achieve it. We worry about our workload, if money will last until payday, what our friends, colleagues, and even strangers think of us. Our minds endlessly circle around everything that could possibly go wrong. Even when we achieve something or solve a problem, we just start to worry about the next thing. Problems are real. We can lose our job. Illness can strike. Relationships fall apart. It feels like our worries will never change and we're all alone. We tend to blindly follow this way of thinking, even if it's unhelpful and makes us miserable. But ultimately, tranquility and anxiety both come from our own minds. To overcome anxiety, we need to build up good habits based on a realistic and much more far-sighted outlook. Simply put, if we want peace of mind, we need to think differently. Guard your mind, the Buddha advised. We shouldn't believe everything we think, but take responsibility for ourselves and actively deal with our problems. Just as we've all got the ability to learn new skills or languages, we can also train our minds to cultivate happiness and peace through meditation. If we spend a moment every morning to set ourselves up for the day ahead, guarding our minds becomes second nature, something that naturally arises whenever we're frustrated or low. To start your meditation, take 3 deep breaths. Imagine your anxieties as a black balloon. All the fears, hopes, disappointments, and jealousy. We can burst this balloon by thinking more realistically and using compassion as a tool. Consider the following facts for a few minutes. 1. Interdependence. It's not all about me. Everything arises from countless causes and conditions. We can't blame just one person or situation for our unhappiness, not even ourselves. 2. Impermanence. Sooner or later, everything has to change. Life goes up and down, and we will never be able to control everything. 3. Compassion. We are not alone. Every other human on Earth has problems too. Realizing these truths destroys this balloon of anxiety. Imagine a bright light taking its place and rest a little in this peaceful feeling. This short meditation helps turn our mind from self-centered thinking towards a more compassionate view. Caring for other people, however, is scientifically proven to reduce anxiety. We all feel the natural urge to change the people and world around us, but the key lies within our own hands. It's when we change ourselves that we find true peace of mind.
So, thank you.